Hello, everyone. Welcome to Christopher's Entertainment Blog. This is Chris. This video, I'm going to be doing the review, the spoilers review for Deadpool. This film, guys, I did not know what to expect going into this. I'm usually not the biggest fan of like raunchy comedies or whatever. I didn't know what to expect. I know what Deadpool's all about, but I didn't know what to expect. I felt like, well, this movie's going to be cool, but I'm not going to probably laugh. I was wrong, guys. I was totally wrong. This movie was hilarious. I laughed probably more in this movie than I have pretty much at any comedy in the last 10 years, probably. Um, so it was excellent. Ryan Reynolds is an excellent job as Deadpool. He's finally found his superhero that he is supposed to play, and it's Deadpool. Um, there were so many positives from the very beginning of the opening credits, how it's making fun of itself and the studios, and just that whole opening credit scene was amazingly done. That whole opening car chase was excellent. Some of the best action I've seen in a long time. Very funny too. This movie was funny throughout the whole freaking film. So many one-liners and just everything that was going on was just hilarious. The chemistry between Marina Baccarin's character Vanessa and Wade Wilson was excellent. It actually worked. A lot of love stories and stuff in comic book movies don't really work that well. I mean, they're there, but they don't really work. This one, I felt the chemistry. They work well together. And some of the stuff they did in this movie, wow. That whole love scene was just insane. It was raunchy but funny. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. Like, it's raunchy, but it's just like, wow, I can't believe they did that, and it was hilarious. Uh, the characters of Colossus and Negasonic Teenage Warhead was amazing. I really liked Negasonic Teenage Warhead. I think she was great. I mean, I actually wasn't really expecting her at the end when the Angel character, who was played by Gina Carano, um, when she rammed Colossus, I was like, wow, this is going to be a fight. And then Negasonic Teenage Warhead freaking like fires like a fireball and just like blasts her. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. And then right now, that whole end fight scene was intense. I mean, it was awesome when they're fighting on like a helicarrier or an aircraft carrier, or I don't know what the heck they're fighting on. Um, I'm gonna have to watch it again. I mean, I don't know if anybody knows for a fact if that was like a helicarrier. I mean, I don't know if they're like kind of like paying a little homage to the MCU with that. I mean, I don't know. It was funny though. And that whole thing collapsing and blowing up, at the end was awesome. Awesome stuff. Great fight, great fighting. The action in this was amazing, well done. Um, and him living with the lady, the blind lady Al, was funny. Some of the stuff they say together is just hilarious. And then at the end, that whole one liner of something like in this house or something, I got 6 kilos of cocaine and the cure for blindness. I thought that was hilarious. I laughed at that. The joke at the end where she pulls his mask off and uh, he's got a cut out of a face, and then you switch the camera and it's Hugh Jackman. I laughed so freaking hard at that. I was not expecting that at all. Hilarious stuff. Um, just overall, so much fun. And then when Deadpool was first talking to Colossus on the bridge, and then just some of the stuff that's going on there was just hilarious. And then he tries to fight Colossus, breaks both hands, and they're limp. He kicks him, and his leg breaks, and he's like hobbling around limp. That was so freaking funny. I was laughing so hard at that. And then he handcuffs him, drags him, and he cuts off his own hand. And when he looks at the hand, he's giving him the middle finger. That was another hilarious scene. And then the little baby hand that grows back. I wasn't expecting that. I was like, how? I didn't realize he had regenerative, powers like that. Um, but um, and it was like a little baby hand, and the quip he makes, I mean, about the hand, and it's just, oh, and this movie was so raunchy. This movie actually can rub some people the wrong way. I mean, hey, but for the most part, I think this film was fantastic. Uh, one of the certainly the best movie that Fox has done for a Marvel character, right up there with Days of Future Past. I think it's actually a little better than Days of Future Past. It's definitely a lot more fun. Um, but this is probably one of, man, this is up there in the top 3 or 4, like, best comic book movies ever made. Period. I mean, this film is fantastic, and just because it was rated R doesn't mean it was going to be a great film. I mean, that doesn't mean it's going to be great. I mean, look at all the other, like, rated R. I mean, look at the the Punisher movies. They were rated R, and they're you know not that great. So rated R didn't necessarily mean fantastic film. I mean, they could have done this PG-13. They could have made it work, but it wouldn't have been this film. There would have been no way. And for this type of film, it worked. In this type of character, and the story, the script that they had, it worked. It definitely worked. And they made the promise. I think it was a while ago that Ron Reynolds promised that they were going to deliver with this character, and they did. They absolutely did. They hit a home run, knocked it out of the park. Um, and the one-liners in this movie was right after the other, and the jokes were funny. I mean, they were funny. And some of the stuff I've read online with some of the people saying that this was a horrible film or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. All films subjective, but man, I don't understand where they come off with worst. One of the worst films ever. Because I think it's one of the best, and um, definitely deserving of all the tens that it's getting. All those tens that are out there, definitely worth that. I'm not going to give it a 10 because there were a few nitpick things here and there. Like the villains were kind of weak. They weren't that really, engaging. I thought the angel character was Jenna Carano's character was actually kind of cool. Um, but the other guy, the Francis guy, I mean, Ajax or whatever, I mean, he's kind of a weak character. Great fight scene at the end, though. Great fight scene. Um, but they were kind of weak. They didn't really explain like what this organization was trying to do with these mutants or trying to create these mutants. I mean, they didn't explain that. So there was that. I mean, the Vanessa character, after Wade Wilson leaves, she didn't. I don't know. I mean, she didn't like. She was just like, oh well, he's gone, he's dead, or what. She didn't really seem to look for him, or didn't seem to care that he was gone. I mean, she just figured like, well, he went off and died. I guess. I don't know. They didn't really explain that very well. Um, but other than that, I mean, I can't think of anything else that was a negative. Everything else was fantastic. Um, Real quick, T.J. Miller was excellent. The one-liners that he makes when Wade takes his mask off for the first time was great. Um, and some of the other stuff that I'm thinking of is just this movie was great. It was overall just a fantastic film. Uh, the one-liner that he makes about the X-Men, about not it seemed like the studio didn't have enough money for more X-Men in the house. I mean, it was just very funny stuff. And the one liner about sewing his mouth shut, like X-Men Origins Wolverine. They even had the little figurine, which was hilarious. I wasn't expecting that. They made fun of so much other stuff that's come before, like Green Lantern. Don't make the suit green or animated. Great line. Uh, just and the cabbie guy having that his cousin in the back of the trunk or something. I mean, funny stuff, man. Funny stuff overall. And the end credit scene was great. Um, I can't wait until they make a sequel, man. They've already greenlit another one, and I, I'm excited. I'm excited for that. But that's gonna do it for me for this quick review here, guys, of this of Deadpool. If there's anything I may have missed that you guys want to touch on that was great for the film for you guys, or maybe there's some of the stuff that you didn't like, or if you didn't like the film, please write in the comments below as well. But that will do it for me for this video, guys. I am Chris for Christopher's Entertainment Blog. Thanks a lot, guys. Take it easy.